Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about today is something that not a lot of people talk about, and I feel that it is extremely important, and that is combating food fatigue. So what is food fatigue? Well, food fatigue is when you're bored, you're overwhelmed at the thought of consuming the same food over and over again, and when your body is saying that you're hungry. This is a very serious thing. There are actually villages in other countries that have starved when there is actually food available. Your body will make you sick rather than allow you to eat that food. So, how do you treat food fatigue? Well, keep things fresh and new. A study has shown that certain foods can be perceived as unpleasant when they are cooked properly. One way to combat food fatigue is to eat more raw ingredients. And it has been proven that we associate crunch and crispiness with freshness. Also, eating different things to break the monotony, if you will, a feeling which actually encourages hunger. So let's bring it into perspective, okay, for just a moment. Let's say all you have stockpiled is rice, beans, and maybe some peanut butter, okay? Well, what if that's all you had to eat? Day after day after day. Sure, you'll be happy that at least you have something to eat. But talk about fatigue, appetite fatigue. After a couple of days, you're going to be like, ugh, this is all I have. I don't even have salt and pepper. I don't even, what I would do for just some soy sauce. It's called food fatigue. Okay. Imagine that the worst has happened. All right. Look at shit for shites and giggles, Texas. Okay. Many people are saying that we're going to have a civil war on our hands. Okay. And it's going to start in Texas. I'm just bringing this to you as I see it, as what I am learning, as what I am reading, as what I am researching. Okay. Caca has hit the fan officially. You are now eating your preps. It's all you've got. The supply chains of disruption have been all but non-existent. All of the stores have long been looted. They are empty. There's nothing, not even a crumb. You're laying low. You're staying alive off of your food storage of rice, beans, maybe a few jars of peanut butter. That's it. The thing is, what if the bulk of your food preparedness are mostly dry staples of just rice, beans, and peanut butter? Day after day, week after week, same shite, different day, right? You only had a few weeks worth of other food varieties and now they're all gone. All you have left are the buckets of rice and the buckets of beans that you stored for long-term disaster. Imagine the appetite, the food fatigue from eating just that in order to survive. Yeah, I mean, I know it's very important to first acquire food storage of staple products of rice, beans, wheat to provide adequate food calories for an amount of time that you're comfortable with. I get it. I've done it. You guys have seen the pantry. I showed it to you. But that was because it was for educational purposes, because I wanted you guys to get inspired so you could see what you can do in a small area. And even my husband was like, what the fuck are you doing? You're showing people what we got. I'm not worried. All right? Because there's a lot more people out there that got a hell of a lot more than we do. But then, afterwards, You begin to build up more food storage, other items. Get the hang of it. I like this. I had some tomatoes. I got this. I got that. I got jelly. I got that. I got this. I got this. I got that. Especially following the principle of buy what you eat what you store. Right on? Now, having said that, for those of you who have food storage for long term emergency preparedness, like I would hope that you have, because otherwise, why would I have been talking about this for 3 years on my other channel and now this channel? How many of you have actually thought about literally having to source your daily food needs from only your storage for longer than 2 weeks, a month? How many of you actually sat there and said, shit, I'm going to have food fatigue if this is all we got? See, this is why I've been doing the videos that I've been doing of thinking outside the box, coloring outside those lines, rebel canning, doing what I have to do, and showing you what I've been doing so you guys can get ideas. Because I don't want to get food fatigue, and I don't want you guys to get food fatigue. Okay? So what? You got a cake in a jar. That's going to be the line that is drawn in the sand between you having food fatigue and going crazy because all you've got is some plain white rice and some pinto beans. That cake in a jar is going to save you from going insane. And I'm doing this because I think it's so important that, and you don't want to listen to me? All right, fine. Go to the other professionals, as what I was told. Listen to the professionals. Who? When I asked that, oh, the people with the bigger channels. The people with the bigger channels, just because they have more subscribers than I do, doesn't mean that they're professionals. I've been doing it just as long as they have. I just didn't show it. Okay? I'm only looking out. I'm only looking out. All right? You guys got to do what you got to do in order to survive, and I get it. I'm out here doing the same thing. But you got, even if it's just a few containers of spices, go to the dollar store. Get some boxes of quick bread or quick cake mix, something. I've shown you how to make, put bread and cake mix in a jar, and it'll have a shelf life of at least a year. Please, just listen to me. If only just this once, please. In your long-term food storage, if it consists mostly of only basics, rice, beans, wheat, peanut butter, this, that, and the other, if you had to ever just solely rely on your food storage supply, it won't be long until your appetite fatigue sets in. And it makes it extremely difficult to eat the same foods for a long duration. Appetite fatigue can become bad enough that some people begin to resist and maybe even simply refuse to eat. It's extremely important to diversify your food storage. When planning your food storage inventory, not only is it important to plan for bulk staples, for food calories and nutritional health, But it is very important to plan a diversified storage of food groups that will raise the spirits of those who are forced to eat only from this supply day after day, week after week, month after month. Plan on a variety of foods and those foods that will store well. Also, almost equally important, be sure that you have acquired plenty of spices, like I said, condiments, and all that sort of stuff that complements your food. Part of my payday preps for this week coming up, I'm going to be acquiring all the ingredients that I need because I'm going to start making my own condiments. Um, I'm only short three ingredients, and that's not like me, but it's true. Um, Ground mustard, which that's just not an ingredient that I ever buy. Um, and I need to get more crushed tomatoes. And there's another ingredient that I need because I'm going to be making my own ketchup, my own mustard. I would do my own mayonnaise, but you cannot preserve mayonnaise by water bath or pressure canning. You can only put it in the fridge, and it'll only stay for about 5 days. Can you freeze it? I'm sure you can, but when you thaw it out, it'll probably become chunk-a-lunk, and who wants to deal with chunky, weird-looking mayonnaise? You know what I mean? So I'm going to start with ketchup, mustard, and barbecue sauce, and I'm going to make it in bulk for my family and water bath can it because it's only required to water bath can those three condiments, okay? And yes, I will do videos on them so you can see how I do it, okay? And this is just another way to fill in your gaps, okay? Now, I'm sure you're asking, well, why don't you just go to the dollar store and buy them? Why? Because I like to know what's in my food, okay? Just like I'm making baby food. Did you know that there are tons of metals, including mercury, in baby food? Yeah. And my granddaughter is not going to be eating that crap. So, anyway, let's get on. So, let's talk about some of the things that you should, well, not should, but it would be best if, okay, to stock up on. Let's talk about veggies, okay? They're not calorie dense by any means, but they should be an important addition to your food storage for their nutritional value and their variety. Home canned, store canned, dehydrated, freeze dried, there's different alternatives to them, okay? Let's talk about fruits. Again, canned, dehydrated, freeze dried, grow your own. I've got fruit trees. I've got 41 that I planted myself, and they produce every single year, okay? I've even got grapevines, and everybody loves them, even my neighbors. Whatever food you can grow yourself, if anything at all, whatever it is, even if it's just an herb garden, please do it, okay? It's what we should all ultimately strive for, but I get it. It's not easy. I'm 100% disabled. I can't garden like I used to, okay? My daughter-in-law was doing it for us, but she's high-risk pregnancy right now, so she can't, okay? But self-sustaining sources, for example, trees, other plants that bear fruit every single year, like I said. I've got orange trees, nectarine trees, lemon trees, key lime trees, grapevines, blackberries, raspberries, okay? I've got soursop trees, okay? Fig trees. These are the things that I'm talking about, okay? Things that, well, work well in your environment. That's what you should be planting. Now let's talk spices, herbs, condiments. They will be a tremendous asset to offset the bland humdrum, repeatedly, eating the same foods that blah, blah, blah. You don't want to eat it anymore. I wish I had ketchup. that type of thing. Okay. This may be the most important non-staple food category because it can be used to complement any and all other food to significantly enhance and alter the flavor for your palate. Okay. Many spices, they don't go bad. They really don't, except for ground oily spices after a while. Okay. But spices and herbs will lose their potency over time. Um, this is why, whenever possible, if you purchase seeds, of various different spices, you can actually grind them up and use them, for, what I mean? Like mustard seeds, you can ground them up, stuff like that. But I'll go on. Now let's talk comfort. Comfort foods, prepping for normalcy, which is a huge thing for me and my family. Comfort foods like chocolate, candy, sweets, they bring a significant pleasure to a dull and repetitive food routine. For example, a number 10 can of chocolate powder will essentially store forever. Honey lasts forever. Hard candy doesn't go bad. Use your imagination. Think about your favorite treat foods. Either store them or get the ingredients to make them yourselves. How about Rice Krispie treats? Get the cheap brand of the Rice Krispie cereal and get a bag of marshmallows and some butter. Whip it up, let it sit, cut it into squares, and boom, Rice Krispie treats. Okay. The thought process of food balance and variety is more important than you may ever think it is. In today's modern world, we are so accustomed to the immense variety of food choices, flavors, variety at our fingertips in the grocery store. There's going to come a time when that stops completely. And the only thing you have is what is on your shelves in your home. And I want you to think about that. I want that to sit in your head. And I want you to let it permeate. And then I want you to write down everything that you think you're going to need for your comfort foods, for your normalcy foods, even your favorite coffee. And start putting in your orders. Start getting your prepping for normalcy stuff into that pantry. Because if all you have are rice, beans, and peanut butter, trust me when I tell you, you're not going to be happy. So go get some cake mixes and some ball jars and put some cake on those shelves. Okay? Trust me when I tell you, it will stop you from going crazy. Okay? All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less. Ciao.